Hey there, it's me again. Yeah, Trina. And with it being me again, I came back to tell you a little bit more about that lady. I keep calling her that lady because I still don't know her name yet. And she hasn't told me her name yet. And I told her, I told somebody about your story just recently about what you had told me. And she said, it's okay. I wanted you to tell somebody. She said, because unlike what I went through, I want somebody to be helped. I want somebody to be inspired. I want somebody to know that no matter what, God can help you too. She said, so it's okay that you told somebody. She's saying, you know what? It's okay because I'm okay with me telling my business. She said, at least I get to tell my business instead of somebody else. She said, because once again, they've always told my business for me. She said, so calling me the lady is fine. She said, because I remember a time when they didn't even call me lady. She said, I could tell you about many different times where they didn't call me lady. She said, I've had many different Bible journeys. And one of them is where I had a name change. She said, but as time goes on, and as we get more in depth about my journey, I'll tell you what my name is. But for right now, I'm happy just knowing that you call me the lady. She said, because at least that shows me some respect by calling me the lady. She said, I know when we last talked, we talked about the kitchen table. She said, and I know it sounded like I was just overjoyed about the kitchen table. She said, and I was. I was very excited about that kitchen table because it was something that I had accomplished. It was something that I was able to do for myself on my own. She said, when people think nothing of you, and when you think nothing of you, small things make you feel better. She said, I remember a time when I couldn't get any credit because I didn't even understand the responsibility of paying bills and paying them on time and keeping your word about paying those bills. So the kitchen table was the highlight of my day. With that kitchen table, she said, I was able to put the apartment together from front to back. I was able, she said, in fact, what happened with me getting that apartment, there was already a table there sitting in the dining room with 6 chairs to it. She said, many places don't come with a living room and a dining room and an eat-in kitchen. She said, but this apartment had a living room, a dining room, and an eat-in kitchen. And in the dining room, there was a brown table there that was the same color as the floors, she said. And it went with the rest of the house. She said, so I not only had one table, but I had 2 tables. And it made me feel real good, she said. It made me feel good about myself. She said, because unlike all my other friends and the things that they said about me and how they laughed at me and made fun of me, she said, I was the only one who had moved out of my mom's house and was trying to figure out a way to make it on my own. I struggled. My mom helped me. She helped me a lot. My grandparents helped me. They helped me a lot, she said. She said, but to be able to accomplish that on my own, I didn't need a co-signer. I went in there with my own name, she said, and I gave them my name. She said at that time, I know we talked about me finding a good job, but a good job consisted of a job that could help you have a little extra cash in your pocket, she said. She said, at that time I worked at a a grocery store, and I had worked at a liquor store, and at that time they paid you cash, she said, and by them paying me cash, I was able to make ends meet a little bit better, she said. She said, but the other thing that she did was because she had gotten tired of her grandparents because they were older, always having to watch her children. She said, in fact, one job she had, she didn't get off until 3 in the morning. And she said her grandfather would be sitting outside because she didn't even have transportation at the time. He would sit outside and wait until she got off, and he would have the kids in the car, and he would have the car running to keep the car warm for her and for the kids. And he'd take them home at 3 in the morning. Her grandfather would take them home. And on the next day when she had to be back there at work at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or whatever time she had to be back at work, her grandfather would come back and pick her up and take her back to work. So, you see, the lady said, God's been with me the entire time. I might have thought that he wasn't, but he was looking out for me, she said. She said that kitchen table was not just a kitchen table for me. She said, you know, once I got my place, I had quite a few places, but every time I had a place, I also had extra company, she said. She said what she meant by extra company is because there was a hole in her heart, and because she had a heart for helping people, she would allow different people to come and stay with her. She said the only thing about people coming to stay with her is that people will come and they will stay with you, and when you tell them that it is time for them to go, they turn on you, she said. She said in the end, when she finally got stable later on down in life, and she decided that she wanted to make some changes later on in life, she decided that it was time for everybody to stop living with her. Because quite a few people lived with her. They even brought their kids when they lived with her. But it was also a help because it meant that her grandparents didn't have to watch the kids. It meant that her kids could be at home when she came home from work. They didn't have to be at her grandparents' house. Even though she appreciated that, they didn't have to be at her grandparents' house. But she said when she got better, much better, later on, and she decided to close down the House of Hope, because that's what she named it. But it had her name included in it, but she called it the House of Hope. In her House of Hope, many different people she met along the way. Many different people she met along the way. It was an inconvenience for her children. But even though it was an inconvenience for her children, it made life a little bit easier for all of them. The lady said that she went on in life to still try and move about in life. But no matter what, that trauma kept showing up. And she knew it was only a matter of time before she was going to have to deal with that trauma. But however long and whatever she could do to keep that trauma pushed in the back, that's what she was determined to do, because she didn't want to have to deal with that. It was a lot of pain in dealing with that. It was a lot of disappointment in dealing with that. And dealing with that, she would also have to come to realize that those things were not her fault. And she wasn't ready for that.